Here's my latest book review for the publisher New in Chess, and it concerns this book, A Modern Guide to Checkmating Patterns by Vladimir Barsky. Improve your ability to spot typical mates. Available from newinchess.com, and it's priced at $24.95 US. I think this kind of book is actually essential reading for every chess player that aspires to improve. I'm always amazed at how often very strong players pass over attacking their opponent's king because they haven't seen a crucial variation where there's a snap checkmate. And likewise, I so often see strong players who will overlook a checkmating idea when they're defending, and they could have actually put up much better resistance. So I think this is a really important book, actually. In many ways, it's a very traditional book. Each chapter is set out very clearly. It's extremely well organised, as you'd expect from a journalist, international master and journalist, I should say, who obviously knows how to organise his material well. So, for example, the opening chapter is on checkmating patterns with the rook. Then it goes on to the queen, then minor pieces and pawns, and then it gets more complex. Queen and bishop, queen and rook. Let me show you how, for example, the chapter on queen and knight mating patterns is set out. So first of all, you're shown typical mating patterns. Well, this one I think we've all seen before, with the queen supported by the knight. Then we have this one, slightly different, of course, with the knight controlling this square. Then we have this one. Very good. So it's quite didactic in that sense. So these are simplified positions showing typical checkmates. And then it moves on in the introduction to several examples showing more complex situations. So here's a great example. I love this game. This was David Howe against Ali Bitalzadeh from the Vaikanzai tournament in 2009. Perhaps you'd like to have a quick think how you would play this position with white. Needs calculation, but if you can visualize checkmating patterns, it makes all the difference. Do please pause the video if you'd like to have a go at working this out. White to play and win. David played bishop takes pawn. Now let's just have a quick look at what happens with pawn takes bishop. Knight f6 check is the move. And after bishop takes, bishop d3 check. And then queen e4. Well, that's a mate with queen and bishop. And likewise, if king h8, then queen e4 is a very nice move. And we reach the same position. And bishop d3 and queen h7, next move. So in the game, king takes bishop was played. And now it's forced mate. Can you spot it? Queen h3 check. And g4, and mate can be delayed but not prevented. Basically, queen h5 is happening in this position. So that shows you it's a more complex queen and knight checkmate. You can see the knight covering these squares. So in this queen and knight chapter, for example, there were these simplified positions first. Then there were 16 examples of more complex checkmates with queen and knight from actual games. And then there are 80 test positions for you to solve, and with the answers at the back, of course. So have a go at solving these ones, for example. This is a very simple one, but still good to see. So here, white to play and win, rook takes pawn is the move. And then knight takes rook, checkmate. There are more difficult ones than that. This one is certainly more difficult, but very doable. But still, I think, you know, it's really important to solve these, and, you know, by repetition of the ideas, they really lodge in your mind. So it's black to play and win here. Black to play. This one is a little bit more complex. Be careful, because of course white would like to deliver mate here, so you haven't got that much freedom with your queen. Black to play. Here we go. First of all, knight h3 check. Now the king has to step up, otherwise the queen moves in. So the king has to go to g2, and now rook takes pawn check. That's important. Had to play it this way around. It had to be a check. And, well, white resigned, but if knight takes rook, then it's the queen and knight that step in. They're a deadly attacking duo, actually. It's worth remembering that queen and knight, often they complement each other really well. Yeah, it had to be that way round, because if you play knight takes, if you play rook takes straight away, then of course white has the sack here, and then knight takes rook, and, well, here white is probably winning, actually. So that's just a typical example. But I like this a lot. As I said, quite a traditional book, set out very clearly, but I think a really important book for any chess player's development. These mating patterns are just vital to be able to spot them quickly. And there are over 1,000 examples, the examples plus the test positions here. So it is very good practice indeed. So here we go. Just a quick reminder. That's the book, A Modern Guide to Checkmating Patterns. It's nicely set out, nicely typeset by Vladimir Barsky, available from newinchess.com, $24.95, and, well, available from newinchess.com, but also all the usual stockists available on Kindle as well. There you go. By the way, if you're interested in other book reviews, if you want other recommendations, then do check out my playlist. You'll see that in the video description, which has other book reviews as well. So yeah, do check those out too.